Hello and welcome, hello and good morning from Silverstone. The warm-up for this afternoon's British Grand Prix is underway about 10 seconds ago. And John, it's busy, it's nice weather at Silverstone, if anything a little cold.
I'm absolutely delighted. I'm delighted because the British Grand Prix always marks the launch of many books, and this year has been no exception. So there are a lot of other books on the market, and for us to do so well.
Qualifying is going to be like Grand Prix are going to be pretty good as well.
Maybe a little disappointed problems.
I think also David Coulthard probably felt a little bit disappointed because he was there to try and match his teammate Damon Hill. Of course, David stood down to allow Nigel Mansell that guest appearance at the French Grand Prix. But I think basically, Alan, anybody who didn't get on pole would have felt disappointed. Either they just mistimed it, either they just overdrove, and this is a part of the circuit where we saw a lot of overdriving. That's the Brooklands Luffield section, or simply just weren't quick enough. And it was the most amazing session to see a pole time on the revised Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. A woman 4.960 exceeded probably by about 2.5 or 3 seconds the expectations when the circuit was used for the first time some 2 weeks ago for that 3-day test.
Mark Blundell coming back into the pits in his Tyrrell Yamaha. Mark.
Abbey, the cars run out to the edge of the track. You can see the crowds at that point. You get very close to the cars there. You not just hear it, you feel the power of those Renault engines and the speed, the acceleration.
I'm gonna say now that Coulthard is the quickest after half an hour of morning warm-up. Second, Michael Schumacher. Third, Damon Hill. The gap between Coulthard and Hill is only 0.2 of a second, so it's close again at the top. Then the Tyrrell Yamaha pairing of Blundell and Katayama. Hakkinen 6th, Berger in 7th. Eddie Irvine just a little bit quicker than
front row for the first time since Estoril 1990, but it's Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill who are the first 2 cars in the circuit. And in reality, at the qualifying, Renault and Ferrari have just simply been quicker where it counts, and that is down these 4 very long straights. In the stadium section, well, did it put a million pieces of carbon fiber bodywork on the racetrack? As that bodywork was peeling off, it could have gotten into the rear wing on a lead. Now we know in previous years when at Hockenheim people have said, well, we're not going to do any stops at all, and in fact last year Alan Prost didn't make a stop. But in
the first one to complete a lap, and Damon Hill's car is his race car, or the car he's, I think, using at the moment. He's out in the spare car. So Damon trying.
Above all else, it is a very, very mechanically demanding race. Starting 19th down into that first chicane, now known as the Jim Clark Curve.
So 45 laps this afternoon. Damon Hill starting on the second row of the grid, alongside World Championship leader Michael Schumacher, a man who has been much discussed this weekend, or the team.
Schumacher, the only way I can see Benetton are going to have a chance to run at the front throughout the Grand Prix is to go for 2 stops, to try and sprint, or at least keep in contact as much as possible on the initial.
Revised Curva Grande, more runoff on the left-hand side of the circuit, the outside of the corner, and also the second Lesmo has been changed. Resurfaced for 2.4 kilometers, 2.4 of the 5.8 kilometers has been resurfaced. And if we go down a little further on the left, you can see the gravel bed on the outside of Curva Grande. More runoff, and it's sort of 15 meters more on the inside, Mr. Enrico Ferrari says, and it was done following tests with Minardi here in September. And actually it's a little quicker than it's been before, but the runoff has been increased and it's covered with gravel, so it is a little safer. And all of this, of course, to improve the security of the cars and the ability to stop them before the Armco.
Monza is back in the Formula One circus. Newly proposed changes to the circuit have been accepted by the FIA. Environmentalists who had opposed previous development plans are also said to be happy. The FIA cancelled the race last week which are scheduled for the 11th of September. Fears over safety on the second Lesmo turn have now been alleviated. Changes mean reduced speed for the cars. All the arguments started, of course, after the death of Senna and Roland Ratzenberger in Imola. Safety changes now.
Hello and welcome to Monza. This is Gerhard Berger's view from the 5.8 kilometer long circuit, Williams Renault. David Coulthard qualified 5th after having to abort his foes. Yannick Dalmas, a 33-year-old Frenchman, making a return.
And particularly because of the bumps. Last night there was a meeting between the teams and the engineering side of Formula One. So no skid blocks or inserts in the skid box. Join us after this quick break back here at Monza.